Hi, how are you today? In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at a turntable that I have owned for a very, very long time. I was actually given this turntable as a gift in Christmas of 1992. So I have owned this turntable for almost 30 years. And it's still going strong. It still works great. I still use it fairly frequently. This is the Realistic Lab 340 belt drive automatic turntable. And again, as I mentioned, I was given this in 1992. I actually think Realistic started manufacturing this turntable sometime in the late 80s, and it was still being sold into the first half of the 90s. And as you can see here, we have on the front, we have a speed control. It plays either 33 RPM or 45 RPM. We have a cut button, and I'll demonstrate that for you in a moment. Basically, when you hit that cut button, the tone arm lifts and goes back to the seated position, and the turntable stops spinning. So we have this dust cover here, which I've put a couple of stickers on over the years. And just to show you, this is what it looks like. We have the little adapter over there for if we want to play a 45 RPM record. And here we have the tone arm. And I'm just going to lift the tone arm to show you. Yeah, and then it starts spinning just like that. And when I put the tone arm back in place, it stops. And also, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a little lever over here on the right-hand side. And when I push that lever up, the tone arm comes up. Then I can move it over. And voila! Basically, it's ready to have a record placed onto it. So I'll put that back over here and bring that down. And also, just to show you the output on this turntable, there's a cable in the back, and you have a very standard RCA output left and right, and you also have a ground connection right there. Okay, and in just a moment I'm actually going to put a record on and show you how it works. Okay, so I'm going to put a record on and show you the turntable in action. So there it is playing the record. And I'm not going to actually play the music in this video because I don't want a copyright strike. But basically, just to show you, again, we have this little lever over here that can lift the tone arm, like so. Maybe it's kind of the equivalent of pausing the music, because maybe I want to go grab a drink and I want to resume the song at the exact same spot where I left it. So I lift it up, and when I come back I can bring the tone arm back down, just like so. And as I mentioned earlier, we have this button over here called cut, and you can see when I press the cut button, this is what happens. And the record stops, just like that. So that's my basic rundown of the Lab 340 turntable. And I'm just going to lift the mat, and you'll be able to see it's a belt drive turntable. And I put a new belt in this thing not that long ago, but I'll just show you. It's really easy to install the belt. I'm just going to take this mat off. And if you look over there, you can see the little pulley that drives the belt, which in turn goes around this platter and turns the platter. And that's pretty much it. Basically, you can just lift this silver platter off, and then you're able to access it and put in the new belt. Just as simple as that. So that's my little rundown of the Lab 340 realistic turntable. Again, a real workhorse. It's always worked so well for me. And as I've mentioned before, I find it kind of funny that people love to put down realistic. They did it back in the day. They still do it now. They will often say, oh, realistic, yeah, that was poor man's electronics. And I find that really funny because I own a lot of realistic products, and pretty much all of them still work fine. And all of these realistic products that I own are at least 30, 40 years old, and they all work fantastically still to this day. So yeah, I don't agree with people who put down realistic products. I love them, and they've always worked very, very well for me. I no longer have the manual for this turntable. Somewhere along the way it got lost, but I do believe you can find the manual online fairly easily. Now, just in a moment, I'm going to put some specs for this turntable up on the screen. So for those of you who really appreciate the very technical side of things, I will share with you the specs for this turntable. Thank you for watching. Hope you can join us again next time. Please leave a comment, give us a thumbs up, and as always, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps my channel grow. Thank you so much. We'll see you again next time. Take care. Bye-bye.